Welcome back to Ignite&Scale. The automotive industry is entering yet another transition period discussed already on various episodes of this series. Digital customer journeys are becoming more fragmented. OEMs are under pressure to improve ROI. AI is beginning to reshape customer engagement, and new entrants are forcing the industry to move faster. One business operating right in the middle of that change is the lead agency, TLA. So today, I'm delighted to welcome founder Anton Hanley onto the podcast to discuss the evolution of TLA, the future of automotive marketing, data, customer acquisition, and where the wider automotive ecosystem may be heading next. Anton, great to have you on.
Hi, Mike. Great to be here. Thank you for the intro.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, we've spent a lot of time together over the last 12 months, not just on strategy, but maybe the reality of scaling in a market that is changing structurally beneath everyone's feet. And that's one reason I wanted to get you on the podcast, really, as I see TLA right in the middle of that change. But before we start, maybe we can start with your full background and how TLA was formed, because I think that will give some good context.
Yeah. Absolutely, Mike. So we had very humble origins. We started 2002 as AskAPrice.com out of an industrial site in Wigan. In 2002, there weren't many new car marketplaces and there weren't many providers of new car lead generation. And we very quickly, as a result of the lack of competition and lack of dealers being present and other providers of services for new car quotations or test drive bookings, we very quickly managed to get a very dominant position in the market. So, 2003, 2004, we were generating organically about 10,000 new car customer inquiries per month. But the problem in those early days was there was no appetite from the industry to actually take those leads, because back in 2002, 3, 4, it was still very much the given to be going into a dealership and speaking face to face. So we were there right from the start. And what we found is we found a subcategory within new car retailing which really worked at that stage, which was contract hire and leasing, because it was remotely transacted. So that's where we focused in on. Yeah. That's where we started to build out the business.
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating, really, because obviously you started a long time ago and the market's changed so much. How have you been able to evolve TLA as that market's evolved as well? Because it's just such rapid change and you always seem to be at the forefront of where the industry is.
Yeah, look, we're a very humble provider within the space we operate. We really care about our customers, and our customers were leasing brokers, then they were dealer groups, and then we moved into working with the auto brands, and we've stayed fixated on working with the auto brands and creating value for them from around 2007, 2008. And I think the focus that we've had on generating, high quality consumers which convert at a cost effective kind of ratio, and that incrementality is there, has meant that we've always strived to kind of deliver that and do whatever it takes. Over the years, we've had everything from teams of journalists and videographers to data analysts analyzing new car pricing. We've had teams building out microsites for ourselves. We've worked with dealer groups in the early days, creating their own digital assets. So wherever we've operated, we've always been fixated on the customer and providing them value. Obviously, 100% of our focus now is all around engaging with new car buyers, which the automotive brands can't engage with directly, in generating around 250,000 new car buyers a year to the circa 20 brands we operate. But that fixation on creating value, I think, kept us very much on the cutting edge, because do we consider ourselves a marketing company, a technology business, a data analytics business? No, we consider ourselves an organization which is fixated on creating value for the brands we represent through finding them new car buyers, which convert at a strong lead to sell conversion ratio, and whatever it takes to deliver that.
I mean, that feels like a good formula for success, and also the change that we've seen in the last kind of 24 years in your case. But if we look ahead, I mean, obviously we've got Chinese OEMs entering aggressively. We've got EV adoption is changing consumer behavior. Legacy OEMs and other OEMs are under pressure to, deliver market share. Dealers are trying to defend margins at the moment as well. There's a lot going on, and actually the customer at the heart of that expects seamless digital experiences. So from your perspective, where does TLA fit in that market, and how can you help all stakeholders, and what are the key focus points on for the market as you see it today?
Yeah, so we very much consider our customer to be the automotive brand, and we're fixated on helping them hit their targets. So we want the responsibility when we're working with a brand for them to say to us, we want your support with a joint business plan to deliver X thousand incremental sales across this trading period. What we then do is we work with our team internally at TLA to find those audiences, whether they be on publishers, social media, search, via email. We go to great lengths to understand new car buyers, and we consider ourselves an expert at understanding new car buyers. We've generated millions and millions of new car customer records over the years we've been trading. So it really gives us a great insight into the market, where it was, where it's been, where it's going. Like last month, we generated 25,000 new car buyers. That gives us great insight into where the market is. This allows us to create personalized adverts. It allows us to bring consumers into personalized journeys and give them what they need if they're looking to request a test drive or a couple of test drives and get a quotation. It allows us to provide them what they need and then match them up to that dealer / retailer / agent of the OEM, them then to connect with that consumer and give them what they need.
Yeah, no, makes sense. I mean, obviously we discuss it all the time in terms of the impact of new entrants or near new entrants, even companies that have been in the market for less than 2 years. I know you're working with some of those as well. Do you think, I mean, clearly the market from a brand perspective is becoming more fragmented and probably more complex. And TLA, you've proven over a long period of time, you're a very agile business. Do you feel that gives you more opportunity in the next 5 years with that complexity?
Yeah, going back to that point, we deeply care about value creation. We deeply care about the clients we represent. We love nothing more than working with a brand and talking to them about challenges and opportunities in navigating the path to unlock that value. Like we were in a session yesterday with a big automotive brand. Who needs to hit certain targets across internal combustion engine models as a result of demand kind of softening there as a result of the Middle Eastern issues. So your point about agility is absolutely critical. We can move incredibly fast. We're using all the latest technologies within TLA. We are using AI code. We are looking to start running pilots on ChatGPT ads. We are able to move at a very quick pace and to fixate on one particular problem. Like the great thing about TLA and all the team members that work there, we only get to focus and fixate on one area, which is understanding new car buyers, targeting them with the most relevant adverts, bringing them into personalized journeys, capturing their data, validating it to the best level, and then connecting them to the brands and their network and making sure that network follows up. There is a lot in that, but we're able to be incredibly narrow. And at each one of those stages, we go incredibly deep, and we use data and technology at every touch point to make sure that we're as effective as we possibly can be.
Yeah. I mean, one of the reasons I've enjoyed working with you personally and the wider senior management team is the conversations we have are really about one-off campaigns. We talk a lot about ecosystem positioning, potential acquisition opportunities, data infrastructure, ownership of the customer journey. And where, as you say, you're very passionate about value creation and how that can be crystallized through various strategies. So I guess, from your perspective in the next 5-10 years, you've got the agility, but there's a great opportunity to build an ecosystem, given your experience as well. That personally excites me for you, because I think that there's a lot there that you can do. And actually, I think it's the more complex the market gets, the more rationale there is for that ecosystem to develop. Is that how you'd think about things as well?
Yeah, 100%, Mike. We've really enjoyed working with you in having your kind of insights and knowledge kind of play into our strategy. Within TLA, we're kind of looking ahead in terms of having three kind of horizons. We've got Horizon 1, which is UK domestic, carry on growing that business. We want to be responsible for 100,000 units per annum within the UK. From a kind of internationalization perspective, Horizon 2, we're going to start working in Europe and in other geographies from the second half of this year into early 27 and beyond. And we've got a number of partnerships which are ready to be tested. So we want that international growth, where we're going to take this technology and this approach in scale in new geographies. And then the third horizon is M&A, where we're looking to create more value for the brands we represent. We want to help them understand new car buyers better than ever. We want to help them understand where those new car buyers are and how they engage with them via their direct marketing, and how they can use other levers to access these incremental audiences. It is becoming ever fragmented. The Chinese owned and operated market share is growing at an incredible rate. And I think even our forecast may be surpassed based on current run rates. So we're very excited about the future. I think our ability to carry on succeeding is just to stay fixated on that value creation and make sure everything ties into helping the brands sell more of their products to incremental audiences. So everything we do is going to be geared towards that, domestically, internationally, and with any M&A we do, everything has got to contribute, more sales through insights, through reach, through access. So we're really excited with our plans ahead, and we're very appreciative to be working with you.
Thank you. And in terms of, you've been working in this business for over 24 years. Scaling specialist businesses is notoriously difficult, especially in a highly cyclical sector in which we operate as well, in automotive. Just from lessons for other founders, really, you've built a great culture, you've got great people, but growth is never in a kind of straight line. I guess I'd be interested in anecdotes from you on, what makes you most proud of what you've built at TLA, and then maybe to switch that, what's been the hardest challenge? Because obviously there's challenges all the time. What stands out for you as a tough challenge as well?
Yeah, so we're very, very, very proud of our team in our culture. We've stayed the number one in the category we operate in because of the team we have, and we work as one and we celebrate as one. We've just managed to come back from a trip to Iceland, and that was to celebrate that in 2025 we achieved the targets which we set ourselves to achieve in 2020. Obviously 2020 things came off the track because of the pandemic hit, and obviously there was issues regarding new car supply and the service we provided. So I think in a way I'm answering both questions. Like our culture is the thing I'm most proud of in our team.
Yeah.
An example of that is how they got us through such a difficult period from the pandemic and kept our heads down, worked hard, and 5 years later delivered in 2025, the results from a kind of revenue, margin, vehicles sold, performance that we should have achieved, 5 years earlier.
Yeah, no, congratulations. And, looking ahead, the next 5 years, what would success look like for TLA? What do you think the customer journey develops into as well? And what do you think is the most one thing people underestimate today when you're looking at achieving goals in 5 years' time?
Yeah, so we're very clear on our vision, our mission and ambition, and just come back to that ambition, which I referenced earlier, that looking into those 100,000, new car sales per annum that we want to be responsible for. That really does guide us. We're very much fixated and focused on our internal operating system. And as we grow both domestically, internationally, and through M&A, we want that operating system to extend to those new geographies, those new businesses, and we want to kind of ensure that the culture also extends in any growth areas, geographically, should I say, or through the M&A activity. But I suppose just being fixated on delivering set results, like whether we're acquiring audiences through ChatGPT or search channels or social channels or emails or publishers, what we need to stay focused on is what the automotive brands we work with want and need us to do, finding those audiences they can't connect with and doing it in the most cost-effective capacity. And we're relentless when it comes to that. We're looking to set up an R&D labs arm of the business, which probably by the last quarter of this year that'll be in place. So what we'll be looking to do is just be consistently going through the ideation process and looking at whether you want to call them minimum viable products or minimum lovable products, and trying to fail fast, but those that do work, we'll be looking to bring them into our wider ecosystem to put them to work to help the business achieve that 100,000 units a year sale target that we have.
That's great. And Anton, really appreciate your time in joining Ignite&Scale. I mean, what always stands out with me when I speak to you or the team is we're always having commercial, strategic and forward-looking conversations. We never talk about what has the market just done. We're always looking at the future and what it become next. So it is great working with you. But if there's any other brands that want to get in touch, or what's the best way to get hold of you if people want to work with you?
Yeah, look, just reach out directly to me. My email is anton.hanley@tla.co. So just repeat that, anton.hanley@tla.charlieoscar.co. And we'll respond and support wherever we can.
It's great. Thanks again.
Thank you, Mike.
If you want to listen to more episodes of the podcast, we're on all good audio platforms. Our website is also www.cambriaprivatecapital.com, and you can also find myself on LinkedIn and Twitter, where we publish our weekly blogs as well. Please do get in touch if you want more information.